war began in Nepal some 10 years ago, in February 1st, in 1996. And now some 12,000 people of Nepal have died in that war. The name of the war has been given by the Maoists as the People's War. In 2001, there was a first peace talk, but that was unsuccessful. In 2003, again, there was another peace talk, second peace talk. That peace talk also became unsuccessful on the same demand of the election of Constituent Assembly. And then in February 1st, 2005, total power was taken by the king, and now our war, our conflict have been more complicated, and it has become triangular. Political parties are there, Maoists are there, and the king is there.
Maoist, it is the radical communist party in Nepal. They want to change the political system through arms struggle. And we can't imagine how many people they support them. And some people they are supporting them, and some people they are supporting with the fear.
From the side of the state, anybody can be killed anytime. Nobody is secure in Nepal. Now, 80% of the areas of the country has been controlled by the Maoists. Major city center, urban center and district headquarters only is at the hand of the king. Beyond that, there is no state. Journalists had big courage. They came to the street, challenged the government. We will write whatever we want. You try to punish us, we will dare to write it. Anybody could be arrested, anybody could be disappeared for writing something.
Already lost more than 15, almost 15 journalists. It is not an easy time for the press.
King cannot rule for long. That's why I'm saying his future is bright. Ratan Murdabad! Nirankush Tantra Murdabad! Nirankush Ratan Murdabad! Nirankush Tantra Murdabad! There was a historical movement last April. Some 5 million people all over Nepal had come to the street to overthrow the monarchy. There are 75 districts in Nepal. All the people of the districts came to the street. It is the first time in the history of Nepal such a large amount of people from villages, from towns, from cities came to the street, and in the last April, in Kathmandu only 1 million people marched on the street. Such a large amount of people had never been seen in Kathmandu, in the capital. And at last, king had to surrender. There was a political strife for 19 days. King had suppressed the movement very inhumanly. People were dying. The army was shooting, police was shooting. Many people were killed here. Some 21 people were killed. Thousands of people were arrested. And there was a big repression here on the street. Most interesting thing is that people were unarmed. They were unarmed. They weren't taking any arms. And they were telling the monarchy to leave the country. Go away. We don't like you. We like our rule, our democratic rule. They are demanding for Republican state. They were demanding for Constituent Assembly. So it was a very historical movement. People of the world rarely can see. So, to this point, Nepal has come, but Nepali people has not satisfied with this, because after going to the power, political parties here have forgotten the mandate the people's movement has given to them. They are forgetting Constituent Assembly, and they are forgetting, they are not giving due priority to the peace talk. And therefore, people are again on the street to pressurize them. If you forget the mandate, you will also be overthrown.
I think it's very interesting, the atmosphere, the way all the hotel labor with their chef hat, replica of their chef hat wearing, not only the boys and girls also involving. So almost maybe they have 3,000-4,000 activists of the hotel union. First convention after the Maoists came in extreme outline. So they have organized very well hotel unions. So that's why they are having first conference today and tomorrow. So, is the third national conference of the Hotel Labor Union. The first and second wasn't this much looks like, because that was the restricted time. They couldn't come out. But within 1 year, they made such a huge members of the hotel unions member affiliated with the Maoists. That's why, according to the General Secretary's version, they have 15,000 members.
स्वागत छ स्वागत छ स्वागत छ हाम्रो स्वागत छ हाम्रो स्वागत छ
This is the new one. And when I went to make this wasn't in my mind. What I had is like I wanted to write this and here back. It's like DU blog. So I saw this and this line and this picture are very much interrelated. This is also rocking in happy mode, and then democracy. Whenever after we got democracy, people are happy on the street. They are not going on the street. So but we have so many things to do in democracy. It's not democracy itself will not give everything to us. It is about the people who work. So the system itself is very good, but we need to have better people as well to work under that system. And then democracy will truly rock in Nepal. In this website, I see like true democracy like working. When I read those comments, I imagine a boxing fight among 50 people in a hall. Say what would happen? One people bouncing another one. That is what exactly happens in this site. Every people has one view to express and then counter view. And then they would say, no, this is bad, this is good, this should happen. So that is the democracy. And the people are speaking. I have never got that kind of audience, even in my, this is the biggest selling newspaper of the country. But even in this newspaper, I don't get that kind of audience, that kind of instant reaction. But here in this site, it is amazing. And then we write what newspapers we could not write in newspaper. We started writing about what happened in our newsroom, like how we felt when we saw those army people here. I even could not write some words in my non-political column. Like I interviewed a BBC reporter, and I had to remove some words, and that was like, oh, what is this? That was a personal thing. So I translated that into English and then posted that without censoring a word. So that felt good because there is no censorship in the website. And slowly we started giving stories that were being killed in the newspaper because the newspaper would not publish those stories. And some people here were talking about pocket edition of newspaper because the article they would write and put in the pocket, not in the newspaper. So we said, okay, give me your pocket edition article and then I'll translate in English or even in Nepali and post it on the website.
Journalism history is not long. The democracy which we restored during 1990, it provided space for the free press. Now we can write, we can collect information, we can express our views. But this situation was not in our country 5 months back. If we see that time, it was a sad time for us. Actually, it was the black days. They were the black days for our media, for our journalism. We could not walk, we could not move, we could not express. So our hands were tied and our pens were broken. So that one was really a scary situation.
Many journalists were in jail at the time, and I was journalist also, and I was civil society activist also. And it was because of civil society activism and journalism, I was taken into prison. Early in the morning at 4 o'clock, they came to my house, and they said that they have come to arrest me. I said that you should have some, warrant later. I asked for the warrant letter, but they did not have any warrant letter. We will arrest you without warrant. I did not agree. I will not go with you. And they said that we will use force against you if you do not go. Then they took me forcibly, and that is because of we could make public opinion. I am the leader of the civil society movement also, and I can write also, speak also, and I was active also, active for democracy and peace. I was involved in the peace process also, and the king was not for the peace process. In the peace process last year, I had in some of the peace process, I had mediated, and many other friends also, and a man like me was an obstacle for them because people had a big sympathy towards us. And that's why if we are outside, we can create public opinion, we can activate people, and we can write articles in our magazines and newspapers. And in this way, they thought that we are the obstacle, we were taken. And from the first day to the last day of the movement, we were in the prison.
The civilians where has by forcefully each and every house must keep the 10 to 15 cadres of the Maoists. So against them they are giving chanting. Let's go over there.
हाम्रो घरको अधिकार हाम्रो हो हामी सबै एक हौं हामी सबै एक हौं हामी चन्दा दिदैनौं हामी चन्दा दिदैनौं हामी घरमा बास दिदैनौं हामी घरमा बास दिदैनौं हामी घरमा बास दिदैनौं
Just recently, some of the civilian, the local people said that they have immediately react by the Maoist cadre saying, "Oh, you people are the one who came against the we Maoist activists, and we know you, each and everybody who came on the protest, and we will take action in future." That's why they are the local people, civilian here. That gentleman is just relaying this news to our national local FM station, which I've just given number, one of the reporters' number. So that's the problem.
Actually, the Seven Party Alliance and Maoist have a historical agreement yesterday. So people have a great expectation coming up that the Maoist rebels are coming in the mainstream politics, lay down the arms, and by the verdict of the peoples, they should join the politics. But their saying and their working is in two paradigms, is different. They want to stay their carrots in public homes. So against that autocracy, people are here in the street.
Each and every revolutionary movement, dozens of photojournalists are always on the street or day and night. Well, I'm glad that, we all journalists are together, so we can, sometimes we get a problem if we are alone in this sort of mob. So when we are together, then the mob cannot affect us. So as our visions, we can easily make pictures. So now we are here for, Kathmandu Post, the Himalayan Times, the Samachar Patra Nepali, and most of the leading newspaper here in Nepal. So all the photojournalists are here. Not all, but most of the photojournalists are here. The student leader saying, we are not forcing to put our cadres in the house, but those who are willing to help us, they are most thankful from our parties. So we are just requesting, we are not forcing them.
नेपालको सन्दर्भमा जनयुद्धको अन्त्य भएको छैन, एउटा भ्रम छ। जनयुद्धको अन्त्य भएको छैन भन्नुको अर्थ क्रान्ति सम्पन्न भएको छैन। क्रान्ति सम्पन्न नहुँदासम्म हामी युद्ध अन्त्य भएको घोषणा गर्न सक्दैनौँ। यदि युद्धका रूपहरू फरक फरक हुन्छन्, अहिले हामी एउटा लिगल युद्धमा छौँ, मतलब जसलाई वैधानिक युद्ध पनि भनिन्छ। हामी वैधानिक युद्धमा छौँ र वैधानिक युद्धभित्रबाट गर्नुपर्ने सबै कामहरू जति हुन्छन् म्याक्सिमम कोसिस हाम्रा 83 जना सदस्यले गर्नुहुन्छ। त्यसको निचोड संविधान सभाको निर्वाचन हुन्छ।
We had to join this movement for the liberation of our class. Person has a limited role in history, but the main is the class. We believe in a classless, stateless world. We don't want any exploitation of man by man. This is our vision, long-term vision. But that goal is not going to be realized right now. To reach that goal, first we have to follow the historical stage of development. So in that sense, we are in a pre-capitalist phase. So first we have to dismantle the feudal structure and develop a capitalistic society, capitalist mode of production. Then only we can go to socialism and then to communism. So it is a very long process. In that sense, our ultimate goal would be communism. That means statist society, classless society. But right now we are not fighting for communist republic. Right now we are fighting for democratic republic. we can follow the model of the 20th century. So, model of revolution of 20th century may not be applicable in the 21st century. The situation has changed, and there are some negative experiences of application of socialism in Soviet Union, especially after Stalin period. So we are trying to make learn positive lessons and negative lessons from those experiences, and try to develop new ideas of revolution for the 21st century, which we have been calling a Prachanda path. Prachanda is our chairman, and in his name we had nomenclature our ideology as Marxism, Leninism, Maoism, and Prachanda path. Unless you develop the science of revolution, you can't make revolution. So that way we are trying to apply new ideas in our country, and we are not a traditional dogmatic sectarian communist. We are a new type of communist suited to the needs of the 21st century. We hope people will understand us like that. Otherwise, it will be difficult to understand us. If they see us through the old eyes of 20th century revolution, it will be difficult to understand us. And so in 1996, we raised arms against the feudal monarchy, which really controlled the state, economy and society. So during the past 10 years, we virtually destroyed that old feudal structure from the rural areas, and now we are in the process of completing this revolution in the country.
What assurances can you give that now your party is going to be in government, it will change its ways and act democratically?
Exactly. First of all, I want to make it clear that we have changed that program, and our cadre have not forced the people to give food and lodge for them. They have requested to the people, but somebody wanted to exaggerate the situation and they wanted to make it a point for them and to disrupt or to sabotage the whole peace process.
प्रयोग गर्न सक्ने स्थिति हुन्छ कि हुँदैन एउटा अर्को कुरा चाहिँ जस्तो कसैले हतियार प्रयोग गरिहाल्यो प्रदर्शन गर्यो भने यहाँले जुन कारबाही गर्ने भन्नुभएको छ त्यो कारबाही चाहिँ सरकारले गर्ने हो कि युएनले गर्ने हो कि त्यो अलि स्पष्ट भएन भनेर
अब कानुनी अर्थमा त हामी पनि सरकारको हिस्सा हो सरकारले नै कारबाही गर्ने हो जसले त्यो चाहिँ निर्णय विपरीत सहमति विपरीत यस्तो खालको भयो भने तर म तपाईलाई के स्पष्ट गर्न चाहन्छु भने हाम्रो पार्टी विचारधारात्मक दृष्टिले एक भूमिका छ हाम्रो जनमुक्ति सेना 21औं शताब्दीको चाहिँ एउटा महान उद्देश्य प्रति दृढ छ अनुशासित छ त्यसकारण तपाईले भनेको समस्या पैदा हुँदैन अब जहाँसम्म एकजना मित्रले सोध्नु भएको थियो जनतान्त्रिकको कुरा त्यो अलग कुरा हो जनतान्त्रिक स्थिति भनेको त्यो नितान्त एउटा डिजाइन अन्तर्गत केही गिरोह आपराधिक गिरोहलाई प्रयोग गरिएको छ त्यसलाई ध्वस्त पार्न गाह्रो हामीले देखेका छैनौँ बाँकी हाम्रो जनमुक्ति सेनामा त्यो समस्या आउने हामी देख्दैछौँ
Place like stand like on the wall, sitting on the wall. So community can dance. See, all wearing the hat. I mean topi. This is the symbolic. Never is cap. sabun for fish, you must wear. Boy. Kapli ko. Dabi Cassette. Ini bisa. Kelas lagi. Baik.
So this is how it starts. The nightlife in Kathmandu, especially in Tamil. People come up here for coffee, and this is how it starts. All the taxis, they start lining up. People from all the areas of Kathmandu, they start ending up here in Tamil. And this is the entrance to the nightlife.
I like girls. 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 I like girls.
I'm a young guy made a victim of the system. If you're asking my name, it's Arpan. Well, you see, you've got a long line of cars and motorcycles parked up, queuing up for their share of petrol that's coming in from Tarai. And in Tarai, there's a big crisis, which directly means there's going to be fuel shortage in the capital. And this is the result. And now from tomorrow, we've got 6 hours of electricity cut down, which means there's going to be more demand for fuel. So that means the market is going to be really expensive. You see, the country is actually coming to a standstill in economic terms. And this is what's happening for the past 2 or 3 weeks.
डिमान्ड त छोड्यो डिमान्ड त पुरै नहुने डिमान्ड हो यार सोसाइटी छिटो अर्को देशलाई बनाउने भनेपछि त्यो डिमान्ड
डिमान्ड पुरा गरिदियो भने त अरूले पनि आफ्नो डिमान्ड राख्छ नि फेरि पाहाडतिर गरे
हैन
We are just discussing about the Tarai, situation, which is being, quite serious and tense from yesterday, more and more, So yesterday, one police officer has been assassinated, and one protester has been shot dead, and the protester looted all the arms from the police post. So day by day, the situation is becoming very tense and serious. request pamphlet about the indigenous Madhesi. It mentioned about 230 years, since 230 years from the King Prithviraj Shah's time. The first Sahabangs who united the so-called one Nepal. So since that time, the Madhesi were being suppressed and disadvantaged, all those sort of things. So that's why they have this rally.
So in 15 days, the Tarai agitation has claimed more than 19 lives. You just see the newspaper. This shows the human rights crisis in the country. What is this? However, the number of injured could not be verified independently. Cases of looting along the Bergan-Jitpur section, and armed cadres of Jantantric Tarai Mukti Morcha vandalizing education office. 22 demonstrations sustaining injuries after the police fired at protesters, and some violent protesters shooting at the police, and police resorting to gunfire after thousands of protesters come here in the streets. This shows how weak the law and order in the country is. The 5 journalists were surrounded, who were there to cover news about a goodwill rally, and they've been surrounded and brutally beaten them up. This guy, journalist Sambhu Vandari, who has bruises in his back. And these are our senior journalists. And nobody wants to go to Tarai right now, see? And just look at the cartoon here, the same guy. He writes, "Get me a strong lathi, the stick, to print in Nepali also." I mean, what are we expecting? Is this going to be a new war in the country that's going to take more lives? I mean, we've already lost more than 13,000 people. Who's going to take the blame?
We were arrested many times. Since you came last year, more than 4 times I was arrested. Arrested, again freed, arrested, again freed, again freed, again went to the street. We were never tired. Last year when this April movement began, I was kept in the police, armed police station in Maharashtra. But in the beginning, I was kept in military detention central, so for 11 days. I was completely disappeared. Now 900 something people are still disappeared. Many of them have been killed. People, the government is not telling that where are they. It is not told. So some 1,000, nearly 1,000 people, 900 and something people are still disappeared, and some 300 people are disappeared by the Maoists also. Many mothers, many fathers are weeping, crying, because their dear peoples, their dear ones have disappeared, and state doesn't say where are they.
Sufferers of the world unite. Marxist, Lenin, Maoism, and Prachanda's path. Hooray. For peace and democratic republican setup, and for the new Nepal. The President, Comrade Prachanda's first public historical speech in Tunikau. We should go there tomorrow, huh?
Yeah. each and every movement for the democracy revolution. This platform has been used. So after 1990s movement, this place called the Martist platform, Martist Manch, Side means Martist. So this is where always, every time, whenever against the regime, against the ruler, when we have got a protest, demonstration, mass meeting, this is the platform most of the people use it.
नेकपा माओवादी जिंदाबाद नेकपा माओवादी मायामल्ला मायावत साबत मायावत साबत मायावत हाम्रो अध्यक्ष कमल तथा
संसद दमन गरिएको त्यो कालो दिनको स्मरण गर्नको लागि यहाँ भेला भएका छौँ र एउटा उपसमिति बनाएर त्यसलाई छत्काउने काम गरेको छ। त्यसो भएको हुनाले यो सरकारको मौनताको फाइदा उठाएर आज तराईमा मधेसी दाजुभाइ दिदीबहिनीहरूले आफ्नो सामाजिक न्यायको एजेन्डालाई अगाडि सारेर गरेको आन्दोलनमा तिनै तत्त्वहरू विभिन्न भेषमा छद्म भेषमा घुसपेट भएर